Okay, going live. Hold on, I'm gonna hit the intro first after it connects. Okay, this is Slingin Books talking shop with Matt and Josh. We sell comics. We're doing a live stream tonight because a number of reasons. What were the reasons? Well, so I guess I didn't tell you any of this. On Thursday night, here in my town, we had a crazy freak thunderstorm that lasted like 2 hours. Well, so we got like 8 inches of water in our basement, despite having 2 sump pumps, and the power staying on. The entire street was flooded. Like the street had like a foot of water on it, and like today you can see just down both sides of the street, just junk on the bags of garbage from people pulling stuff out of their basements. Yeah, so my wife's office for her work was downstairs, so now it's upstairs, so now we're jammed into my office. So she's working during the day with calls and appointments or whatever and doing her work, and we couldn't really do a show while she was in here. So I thought we would do a live stream tonight. Depending on how long it takes for insurance to fix the basement, because my mother-in-law lives in the basement, so her in-law suite that we finished a year ago now has to be entirely replaced again. Well, not entirely replaced. Her fridge is dead, our furnace is dead. The water heater was okay, just the pilot light needed to be relit. Washer dryer, I think, are both dead. Our test freezer seems to be fine. But all her lower cabinets have to be replaced, along with her fridge and her couch and her bed. Because there was, like, at first it was just rainwater because it had nowhere to go. And then it was other stuff that came in. So, yeah. So we'll be probably doing this at night for a while, I would imagine, if they can handle it. So, well, as long as you're available on use. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So that's why we're doing it tonight and not our usual Tuesday morning and or Wednesday morning. Do it live. Yeah. Can I publish that right now? Okay. Well, let me publish it. I'm trying to publish the link to our Facebook in it. Well, there we go. Oh, I just did it. Okay. So lots of news this week. Some Marvel stuff, and then lots of DC since last week. So we'll start with a bit of Marvel news, some controversy that Josh might not have heard of for Marvel this week, and all the DC extended universe stuff you can handle. Okay, so Star Wars The High Republic Phase 2 is starting soon. They released some concept art for the new characters. This Phase 2 takes place before the first volume of High Republic. So it's all new characters again. Let's see, so it's called Quest of the Jedi. Then you have some concept art for some new characters, Axel Greylark, the Landris Show. It's set 150 years before Phase 1. Phase 2 of Star Wars High Republic will center around Jeddah, which we've seen in Rogue One. That's where all the kyber crystals were. That gets destroyed. Well, partially destroyed by the Death Star. Planet rich in its connection to the Force and focus on every major faith in the galaxy. The new flagship Star Wars High Republic comic book series will introduce Jedi of Vladar Mac, who arrives as Jedha's fragile piece begins to crumble, and a nameless terror arrives. So he also looks like we also get a new villain. Okay, so let's see. This is good. Some people might have some issue with this. Some people might not. Giancarlo Esposito says he's met with Marvel Studios and he's interested in playing Professor X. We know Giancarlo from Breaking Bad, The Boys, also Trading Places. A very young Giancarlo Esposito was one of the guys in jail with Eddie Murphy and Trading Places. He must have been like 21 at the time. Yeah. Yeah, we were watching that over. It's a Christmas movie for my wife, so we were watching that over last Christmas and just noticed that out of the blue. So he says, I have not worked for Marvel yet. I've been in a room with them and talked with them. So there's been talk of Magneto. There's been talk of Dr. Freeze. There's been talk of who else they're talking. There has been talk of who else are they talking about over there. Oh, Doom. And there's Professor X. Pick one. I'm going to go and put out. I'm going to go and put it out in the universe that it is Professor X. So, I mean, there are not a lot of characters. I can see both sides of not wanting to race swap Charles Xavier. Giancarlo's obviously a fantastic actor, and anything he does, he'd be good in. However, I can see the argument that Charles is the face of mutants, and it's easier for him to be, for a white guy who's accepted in the world already, to be the face of mutants who aren't accepted. And it's weird like this. So we're doing our rewatch of The West Wing as we do every summer, the co-founder and I. And in season 6 and 7, what's his name? The guy who plays Matt Santos, who's in Jimmy Smits. He's playing a Latino candidate, and he there's an issue with in California. There's an episode where in California, Republicans bring up driver's license bill to prevent immigrants from getting driver's licenses, or illegal immigrants, right? And his whole thing is that people don't need to hear another Latin man tell white people that it's racist to come up with a bill to block immigrants who come to the States to do the jobs white people don't want to do. Like, no one's gonna pay attention to that. It's just, oh, Latino coming out for Latino. I kind of get that this argument would be the same for Charles Xavier. So I don't know. It's like there's not a lot of characters that race swapping might matter in the Marvel universe. This one might be one of them, just because of his privilege. Which is unfortunate that it's because of his privilege he can't. It's hard to race swap him because of his privilege, but we're at that. Yeah, like, I don't know. Well, so there are enough. There are enough. There are enough. Well, I wouldn't say enough, but there are lots of people to choose from that aren't white to be in the X-Men. Thunderbird and I forgot, Sunfire and Nightcrawler, obviously. And Storm, the leader of the X-Men for a long time. Yeah, so there it doesn't have to necessarily be. There's lots of people you can include in the X-Men that aren't white to balance it out, I guess is what I don't know. It depends. I mean, it also all depends on how they change that story, if they do change it at all. But obviously, I'd love to see him in the universe playing somebody. I don't mind him playing a hero. Like we obviously know he's good at being a bad guy, but let's see him play. I don't know, a hero type. I'd be fine with that. Who he could play? Well, maybe maybe he's in a maybe he plays Charles Xavier in a universe where um people of color are the ones that have the privilege and white people aren't. There's an alternate universe. Okay, so more Marvel news. This happened over the weekend at a con. Um, so the first appearance of Miles Morales and Spider-Man was Ultimate Fallout number 4. Um, there's a company called Black. I know everyone on the internet's doing this, but I thought I'd talk about it too. There's a company called Black Flag that put out a special edition of Ultimate Fallout number 4, a facsimile print. So here's the thing: is that they got Clayton Crane, who's a great artist. I have a lot of his variant covers for various things he does. He came up with an acetate cover. Do you know what that is? It's like the plastic that has that goes on top that makes a second image, right? So so he came up with that for this facsimile print, and Black Flag stapled it onto Marvel copies of Ultimate Facsimile, and then we're selling it for $85 a copy. So there are kind of a couple issues that people are upset about. One, there was a report that a couple of famous YouTubers had pushed their way into line and bought like $12,000 to $14,000 worth of these comics, this particular issue, to flip, which is okay. And then the other issue is CGC was there, and they were giving this a blue label instead of a green label for altered or restored. So right now, I saw one going on eBay for highest bid was $222 right now, 14 bids. So people are upset that, one, they didn't get a chance to buy a copy themselves. Two, that YouTubers were allowed to buy as many as. Well, there's two ways you can look at this. One, you could fault Black Flag for not limiting per customer or 2 per customer, whatever. Lots of retailers do 2 per customer, like a reader copy and a copy to send off to CDC or to flip or whatever to right. But in a capitalist society, America loves their capitalism. This isn't like, is it ethically a gray area? Sure. Is it illegal? No. Is it a jerk thing to do? In the context of America being all about business and making money, I don't necessarily think what Black Flag did was. I mean, it's shitty, but I can't fault them for wanting to make money. In the end, like, yeah, if people are gonna pay that kind of price or that kind of money, it's only worth what someone pays for it. So if people are buying it, I don't really want to fault Black Flag for that. I mean, they really should have limited two per copy to keep customers happy. However, if someone wants to give them 16 grand and buy out half their issues, can I fault them for not hoarding it themselves? I don't know. This is what people do, though. This is what people do in the comic book community. Is if a comic's hot, they'll go back to their LCS, buy 2 more copies, put them on eBay, and for the double the price, and if they sell them, then they've covered the cost of something they actually really wanted. So these people are taking a chance on buying that many copies. Like, it's a shitty thing to do, but I can't fault. I just don't buy from Black Flag again. Like, I personally, I looked into getting a exclusive variant for, like, if we want to do a Yousellcomics cover one day for a comic. It's not that far out of reach. For a small retailer, I think it's like you have to buy 2,000 copies to be eligible for one from Diamond, I think, or Penguin. I think it was 2,000 copies. So, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's like 20 grand. Okay, so yeah, okay. Well, so it's out of reach for us currently. Maybe one day we could do a Yousellcomics thing, but yeah, yeah. Although some other retailers do like 750 runs and 500 runs, so I don't know. I'd have to look at what that. Maybe there's other ones you can get for cheaper. So the other thing was that CGC was giving this a blue label, even though it had extra staples in it, which weren't from the manufacturer. Like Marvel was the one that printed it, right? And then Black Flag stuck it on themselves. CGC released a press release about this today, saying that we treated them as we would any other variant that's attached with an extra set of variant cover that's attached with an extra set of staples. After the book was printed, at times these books included the original cover as well. There's a precedent for acetate covers being attached to a printed book and then graded by CGC. As an example, Stray Dogs #1 from last year, an acetate variant cover was attached with an extra set of staples, to which CGC assigned a universal grade with a notation, acetate cover on the label. The extra set of staples were part of the manufacturing process of attaching the cover. It's not considered a defect. But it's not the original manufacturing process though. Like, they took an already printed book. Like, so if the acetate cover from Stray Dogs, if it was I forget who publishes that. It's not Image. Is it Image maybe? Anyways, whatever company made that, if they put the acetate cover on themselves like in the plant, then I would say, yeah, that's manufacturing. But these guys did it after the fact, after it printed, and Marvel came out and said, we didn't know anything about this and we didn't approve it, apparently. So I don't know if they're going to get in trouble for this. Well, this is the thing too, is that this alters. So if Marvel didn't approve this, who's to stop anyone else from doing this to make more money off their books? Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation. Just limit to per customer. If they don't, I don't know, don't buy it. Okay. So we had some casting news for Ironheart series. RuPaul Drag Race Shea Coulee joins Ironheart series. She's headed to Marvel Realm as sources tell Deadline. She's landed a secret role in its upcoming Disney Plus series Ironheart. Reps for Marvel declined comment. So there is a character in Ironheart that is a drag queen. So everyone just assumes she'll be playing that character. Not out of the realm of possibility. But either way, apparently she's fantastic on drag show, so let's see what she can do. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Um. Avengers Endgame director reveals that Kevin Feige wanted to kill everyone. The Russo brothers said thought it was way too aggressive and that the audience wouldn't be able to process it, and that in fact picking one or two characters to make a sacrifice throughout the movie might give you moments throughout the film where the action could stop and you could have emotional catharsis and then continue with the narrative and then have more emotional catharsis. Kevin early on had pitched this idea that it was like Toy Story 3 where they all should actually jump into the fire in order to save the universe. And we thought you had to step out of storytelling on something of a scale, so we weren't quite sure how the math would add up to get to that. Apparently that was very early days in the draft. I don't know. They could have killed, like, if they had killed everyone. Well, I mean, they'd already killed Black Widow halfway through the movie. We knew she wasn't coming back. If they had done, if they had snapped everyone back and then killed them all again, I don't know. That doesn't feels less important. And also, I think would diminish the sacrifice that Tony made. So yeah, it's a good idea that they didn't do this. Sure. The road not taken, I guess. Okay, so last thing before we do the keys of the week and marketplace, and then we'll get into all the DC news. It seems like Moon Knight director Mohammed Diab and Oscar Isaacs are confirming season 2 plans. I guess they were both in Cairo on TikTok. Oh yes, why else would we be in Cairo? So maybe they're scanning locations for season 2. This isn't an official confirmation, but it kind of seems like it is. I guess we'll find out in a month or less at D23 that there is. Oh. I see you in desktop audio. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me check the connection. How did that happen? Well, give me a second. Right now.
Check test. One second. Let me see. Sorry. It's a check test.
Right now.
Oh yes. Check test. Yes, it's a little loud. Sorry. You can bring me down. It's a check test.
Right now.
Oh yes. Check test. Yes, it's
there. Is that better?
Whew, mama. It's good stuff.
Are you super loud still?
Tiny bit loud, but almost there. Hey, look at us. Figuring it out.
How about now? Is it super loud still?
I think it's all right.
You're minus 28 decibels now on the... Okay, so let's restart the show.
All right, yeah, let's start from the beginning, and everything is fine.
We have way too much to go through. Anyways, so yeah, Moon Knight, season 2. Guess we'll find out for sure. At D23. Okay, let's do.
I think we're gonna hear pretty much everything that everyone anticipated or missed out on in the previous expo.
Yeah, well, okay, so I didn't put this in there, but there was two different leaks from actors this week.
Yes, there was. Yeah, I saw those.
Patton Oswalt apparently said at an interview that Eternals 2 is confirmed.
Yeah.
At least coming back as Pip. And then Rosario Dawson said, worded it like Punisher was coming back, but then took it back afterwards, that she heard it from a fan and not anything that John said. So
Really? Yeah, she might have let that one slip, because I feel like they're going to bring him back and use him.
For sure. I mean, him and although Kristen Ritter just signed on with another show for a while, so I don't know if they're going to be
to redo Orphan Black, which is crazy.
A sequel. No, they're not. It's not a remake.
It's a sequel?
It's a sequel or a prequel. It's not.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a sequel.
Okay, so here's chart toppers of the
Hit it. Keys of the week, your top 10.
Okay, so the comic Bang is in the top 10
Bang.
This week. They made a deal to make a show, of course, along with Mind Management. So I think they made a deal for Mind Management first, and then they also think Bang is going to be a show as well. Because they signed a look deal with Matt Kint or Dark Horse or whoever owns the property. There is Spawn news this week. Jamie Foxx was talking about Spawn because he's supposed to play Spawn eventually, whenever that thing gets made and comes out. Obviously, we just talked about the C2E2 book, which is this right here. Sandman also came out this week on Netflix. Dude, the first 2 episodes, like, we're only 2 episodes in. We haven't had a lot of, because so Friday, my wife already had Friday off, and we were gonna watch Prey and like binge through Sandman and do all the things and watch the final episode of Blackbird, and then Thursday night with that storm, and all that went to shit. So yeah, we only watched 2 episodes of Sandman, but fuck, those first 2 episodes, dude, so good.
I heard, I read reviews. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to watch it. The first episode was a little family drama-y, and then the second episode kind of gets into it a little bit.
The first, like, I have never read Sandman. I do like Neil Gaiman.
I haven't either, and I love Neil. I haven't read it, but terrible.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that he's written we haven't read, but I've read his North Mythology, and his Eternals is sitting on my shelf waiting to be read. But no, dude, I don't know. The first episode hooked me. Like, I'm like, because my wife had read a couple issues already, or a long time ago, and she already knew like what was going to happen in the first episode. But no, I don't care about the family drama. That first episode hooked me.
Yeah, okay. Because it definitely looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Rogue One is in the top 10. We got another trailer for Andor last week, which got pushed 3 weeks, but we get 3 episodes. I guess they didn't want to compete with Lord of the Rings coming out.
Big shocker there.
Also, She-Hulk is coming out again, and now they've changed that date from Wednesdays to Thursdays.
Really?
Yeah, so
interesting.
Comes out in 2 Thursdays, I think, now. So, and then Andor comes out in September. So we got the first appearance of Andor in the Rogue One comic there, some Sandman stuff. Spawn. Bang. Okay. Keys of the Week in stores today and tomorrow in your local LCS. 8 Billion Genies #4.
Ooh.
An 8 issue limited series. I've read the first 2 issues of what's the matter?
Oh, sorry, my cat. Just the usual cat stuff.
Oh, the usual pussy stuff.
How dare you? But yes, keep going. 1 second.
Yeah, I read the first 2 issues. Definitely worth reading, and I'm looking forward to. It's a good premise to be made into a show. I'm not sure how there might end up being a lot of CGI in it. I don't know if it's live action or animated though. If it's animated, it's fine. If it's live action, that's going to be big budgets.
Yeah, I would say I would say so.
X-Men Legends #1, Volume 2 comes out. Premiere issue written by Roy Thomas that chronologically occurs when Wolverine debuted circa 1974. Roy Thomas quote about Wolverine in the press release for the series: conceiving the character in the broad outline, I turned him over to the considerable writing skills of Len Wein, or Wien, Wein, if it's say it in German. This is an interesting quote considering the controversy surrounding creative credit applied to the character as explained in the description of Foon Magazine #2. Amazing Spider-Man #7, debut of Oscorp Spider-Man suit, seemed not worn. Predator #1, finally. I've been seeing that in the solicitations for a while. Finally, Predator comes out, the new series. I almost finished the Alien Marvel series.
Okay.
I think there's one more issue to go on that. That's not on Marvel Unlimited. It might be in my box, but yeah, it was really good, well written. It was kind of split into 6 issues each for 2 different stories in the Alien universe with Wayland and Tawny. And then Ray came out on Friday, which was great. And apparently is the #1 thing ever viewed on Hulu now.
Yeah, apparently, they hit #1, which I'm surprised because what was that one previous hit they had that was pretty high? I'll check it myself.
Pam and Tommy?
Was that it?
Anyways, it was great.
Sorry.
I look forward to more Predator movies with that kind of quality. Like, it didn't look expensive. I mean, it looked great, but it didn't, like, I don't think it was an expensive movie to make, because it was like maybe 10 actors and just in the forest. Like, there weren't a lot of sets. And I think it seemed to me it looks like more practical effects than CGI.
Yeah.
But, it was really good. And then I went back and watched. So my wife didn't remember if she'd seen Predator 1, so we watched that in 4K. Fuck, that movie so good.
Yeah,
and then
that would be really,
as a kid, I didn't remember if I'd seen Predator 2.
How can you forget? Oh man.
Well, I was a sheltered child, Josh.
Right. Sorry.
Oof, the first 2/3 of that movie is pretty bad. Because I watched it
it's
today.
not.
The last 1/3 is actually gets pretty good, but yeah, I like. It's not it's like Prey is a better sequel to Predator 1 than Predator 2 is.
That's wow.
Yeah. So also be on the lookout for a lot of Predator variants for other issues from Marvel. I picked out a couple myself. Got the comics this week. 007 #1, Bond tracks down shadowy organization only known as Myrmidon. So I guess he's getting a comic now. The Deadliest Bouquet #1, 3 sisters must set aside long-time rivalries to solve their mother's murder. G.I. Joe Best of Storm Shadow #0, so it's a one-shot, I think. Hellboy and the BPRD 1957, Falling Sky #1. Love Everlasting #1. This is about in this ongoing romance series, a woman discovers that she's trapped in an endless cycle, a problem to be solved, a man to marry, and every time she falls in love, she disappears in another teary saga. Okay. Parker Girls #1, a trio of operatives set out to solve a murder case of a beloved actress being covered up by her billionaire husband. Samurai Doggy #1, after the 4th War of the Sun. Doggy was left for dead, but now seeks revenge against the greatest empire of machines and robots that ever existed. Deceased War of the Undead Gods, 8-issue limited series continuing the Deceased alternate reality zombie franchise in the DC universe. You have Harley Quinn #19 variant, Sandman #1 reprint of Sandman, and now it has the Netflix thing on the cover. Superman Son of Kal-El #14, debut of Jay Nakamura, superhero costume. Avengers 59 first full appearance. Oh, see, I thought that was an Predator cover because it kind of looked like he had the Predator fingernails there. First full appearance of Reno Phoenix and Starbrand Kid. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #3, solicitation, who or what is the redacted, so I guess there's going to be a new character, might be on the cover there that you don't know what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Rider, Vengeance Forever, #1, first appearance of Necro the Tattooist.
The Tattooist.
A seer who uses his needle to discover truth. I gotta say, the new run of Ghost Rider with Johnny Blaze has been awesome. I hope they don't cancel this one like they canceled the last one. Although the last one, I guess, didn't have a great sales record, but this one's been really good.
Yeah.
Giant size Gwen Stacy 120-page one shot of original stories plus issues 1 to 3 reprint of. It seems like it should be a trade, not just a comic, but okay. And then Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 26. This is the Christopher Sprouse variant of the first cover appearance of Reva, third sister of the Inquisitorius. Variant by Christopher Sprouse. Okay, so that's it for Cues of the Week in stores today and tomorrow.
Inquisitorius.
And now we're going to talk a ton of DC news.
Oh man,
it was kind of an implosion last week. So I think I'll do a quick hit of each title of each headline here, and then we'll just talk about all of it.
Because I know only some. I didn't know everything. So yeah, definitely hit it.
Okay, so Aquaman and Shazam could be facing further release date delays. Warner Brothers has developed a habit of disappointing comic fans everywhere. Yep. Okay, so they might be delaying that. They don't want to go head to head with Avatar: The Way of the Water for Shazam. I think that's probably a good idea. Although,
yeah,
I mean, I really have no interest in seeing Avatar. That's what I'm watching at home. I don't care about going to the theater to see that.
I think I would feel that it has a very large cult following to the point where it would
Avatar
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought we were talking about. Never mind. I apologize. No. No. It doesn't matter. I'm so sorry. I thought we were talking about The Last Airbender. It's my
Airbender. Oh Jesus. No. James Gunn's terrible sequel to The Blue People with Tails.
Yeah.
Okay. So among other cancellations, like Batgirl got canceled, James Gunn says Peacemaker season 2 is safe, so we can rejoice for that.
Yeah, sigh of relief.
Batgirl debacle pushes DC back once again. People are upset that they canceled Batgirl. Still, apparently it received a similar test score to Shazam.
Yeah, this is what's worrying me. Sorry, director's cut of the Fury of the Gods, which also doesn't go well.
It also saw a headline that it had the same test score as Black Adam before Black Adam had reshoots, which worries me about Black Adam because I thought the trailer looked great.
Yeah, it does worry me. The story worries me because no one really cares. No one cares about Black Adam's story. So it's you make it engaging, you make it interesting.
You mean no one cares about his background?
Yeah,
I'm interested to see his origin story.
Oh, of course, but I'm saying to you that no one really.
No one's connected with the character yet, so it's
sure the majority. Yeah, the majority is not seeing this and being like, okay, I want to know where this dude comes from. I feel like it's just
he's not Superman.
Yeah, he's got a black suit. He looks like Superman, but he's not Superman. Okay.
Ezra Miller has been accused of running a cult and grooming minors, so DC is promoting pedophiles at this point over.
Yeah, I mean, there's accusations versus, I guess what is it?
So
charges.
Yeah, two things came out more about Ezra Miller. One, that he's been accused of this, and two, he got charged with felony burglary in Connecticut
for stealing a bunch of booze, I believe, and something else. Something.
Yeah. So J.J. Abrams also says that the Constantine reboot is still moving ahead, so that one's safe. Good.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. I would like to still see that.
Which, oh yeah, I guess, well, because you haven't seen Sandman, I can't talk about that.
Sorry.
Superman, Warner Brothers reached out to Henry Cavill, and Cavill said, fuck you. And Green Lantern says, or Green Lantern HBO Max series is still very much alive, but may not arrive till 2024. Okay.
Easily.
So of all of that news
DC.
this week of DC, oh, and I didn't put this in here, but they're merging Discovery and HBO Max to just be one app, and they're getting rid of HBO Max. Now in Canada, if you don't know, we don't have access to HBO Max. We have to get it. If we want HBO stuff, we have to go through Bell here, which is their shitty Crave app that doesn't even stream in 4K. Barely streams in 1080p, I think.
Yeah,
but but a lot of people are upset in the States because the HBO Max app is apparently pretty good, one of the best ones for content and for usability. So
yeah,
I don't know why they're shooting themselves in the foot with that one, but
they really don't care about this shakeup. Like they don't. I feel like
it kind of feels like he's just burning it down to burn it down.
Yeah, I don't.
Like I get pulling back on like the Wonder Twins and okay, you're pivoting to you only want DC movies to be like DC properties to be movie quality, and that's why you didn't go through with Batgirl. But then you're okay with Ezra Miller being in a tentpole movie for you where you're not going to cancel it.
I mean, tentpole is almost an understatement, right? Like you're
like Michael Keaton's in that movie. Everyone was stoked to see Keaton back as Batman, and now like he got cut out of Aquaman because he shuffled it, and now he's cut out of Batgirl because we'll never see it, and now less people are going to see it because no one wants to see a movie with that twat as the Flash.
Yeah, I would say that at this point, no one really wants to see his. I mean, I don't know. Who does anymore at this point? Like even people that don't even know what's going on. I would say at this point don't really know who he really is. So I think like you know what I mean. Like if they're aware of the person, they don't want to go. They don't want to see. And if they're not aware of him, they could care less. So they're not gonna bother.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. Very weird situation. Like the fact that they haven't gotten really a handle on this kid and that he's still kind of romping around the States. You know what I mean? Like bouncing from Hawaii to wherever. Like the fact that he's got an armed farm in, where was it? Like Montana or something? Yeah.
Somewhere in the north mid.
And they say that it's an unlicensed cannabis farm he keeps guarded or something. And I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't say that's out of the ordinary at all for his universe, I guess.
Even working on anything at all?
I would say that after the second allegation, his steam got pretty quickly stopped. Like you're only looking at
there's two things in post-production. He doesn't have anything in current production or pre-production. Dollyland. What's that with? Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, like I can see him. Man, he plays younger Dolly. Jesus Christ. Younger Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. Okay.
Oh my god. So he's either getting that's either getting recast or that movie's getting.
Well, it's in post production. Like they can't really.
So they're fucked.
I don't really think that's a big movie though. Like this is gonna be I'm not thinking this one goes to theaters. Like it comes out in a month. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't seen a trailer for it. Like they ain't promoting it.
Yeah, I don't think anything's happening there.
The director. Oh, she directed American Psycho though. And Betty Page. Huh. I don't know. Maybe he just got buried because he's in it. That's too bad for the director and the writer. But yeah, I don't know. It's
yeah, that's
Well, look, I'm glad that Peacemaker season 2 is going to happen.
Yes, that's very
I'm
nice. I'm very happy about that.
glad that J.J. Abrams is going to do something with Constantine. I mean, I've been looking, like, at this point, if he's only doing something with Constantine, I don't think they're going to let him do Justice League Dark on HBO, given that they want
Sadness.
their, right? Like, who doesn't want, like, for a while, there was a rumor that there was going to be a Satana show. That ain't happening.
No. Nay.
Yeah, so I get, like, his David Zaslav's, I guess, directive of we want DC to feel like a movie event. Are you on mushrooms?
No.
Is that your pot grinder?
No, they're just sour cherry candies inside.
That have THC in them?
No. Just tastes really good.
Oh, you might be. Are you worried about the shortage that's gonna happen? Did you read about that?
No. What shortage?
Well, I guess one of the logistics partners for OCS got hacked.
Yes.
And they haven't been able to make deliveries to pot stores in Ontario.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's but that's okay. Just when one will fail, another will rise quite quickly.
Anyways, so with his directive that everything has to be like movie quality, it's hard to imagine getting B characters their own shows. Like the way Marvel's done with their stuff, that we get to see, second level heroes be in their own thing to enjoy.
Yes.
And now we're only going to get, well, they're going to have to recast Superman, I guess, or at least use Michael B. Jordan. I mean, we haven't heard anything about his Superman project, whether that's killed or not. So yeah, are we gonna get like I wouldn't mind seeing a Red Hood or a Nightwing or I don't know, Damian Wayne or a Red Robin. Like
yeah,
we're not getting a Batgirl, so
no.
Are we gonna get any of those characters in shows or movies? Like, are you gonna get your own Nightwing movie? Doesn't sound like it. It's not the one of the major characters of Justice League, though. Like, screw everyone else. I don't know. I'm surprised they said that Green Lantern's still going on. The scope of that was supposed to be huge. Like, you had all the Green Lanterns in it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be at least
planets.
3 main characters that were Green Lanterns. One
was Guy Gardner, one was John Stewart. I think the other one was
shoot.
Oh, Jessica Cruz.
Yeah,
Finn. Oh, they've already cast people for it too. Finn Whitrock will play Guy Gardner. Oh, it's not John Stewart. Jimmy Irvine on board as Alan Scott in the 40s. It takes place over years. And Jessica Cruz as new alien lantern named Brie Jarta. So it's going to take place over different decades.
Superman and Lois, dude, for the pilot.
Yeah, I don't know. People like the beginning of that show, and then it got bad afterwards. So I don't know. Also, apparently, Black Canary movie is still in active development. There's no way that's gonna keep going.
I actually just posted. I posted a link about that. It's in the links if you want to check it.
That it's still going.
Yeah, I think it was updated 3 hours ago. For HBO Max, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, look at that. This is today at 7:00, I think. Or something.
Oh, it's using Oh, it's still the same actress from Journey
Harley Quinn
from Harley Quinn's Birds of Prey, which was a terrible fucking movie. I can only say the first 20 minutes is terrible because that's how long it lasted for.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
she's a good actress. She was good in Friday Night Lights, but I don't know. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we are getting B level characters that no one cares about that will make us care about them.
I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't know.
Yeah, like if it's a Black Canary movie or show is going to be better than the Harley Quinn movie, then sweet. It also looks like Harley Quinn's been recast in that Joker 2 movie. Looks like Lady Gaga might be playing Harley Quinn in Joker 2.
They've said that she's pretty much in like advanced / final talks, that it is it's pretty
But
much
she's
almost
playing
confirmed.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So
like I don't know, man. Like I watched House of Gucci recently.
Yeah.
She was pretty good. She was pretty good in that movie.
I don't know why people didn't really like that. I thought maybe it was because it was in theaters. Wait, no, it was HBO Max. I don't know. I don't know why people. It was a bit long, which was fine because I watched it at home. But I don't know. I thought the movie was entertaining. Adam Driver's always good in whatever he does. And your buddy Jared Leto, he was unrecognizable.
He was unrecognizable. I will give you that. And he wasn't overly annoying.
Oh, his character though was a douche.
Yeah, of course. The character,
he was good at playing a douche.
Shocker.
Yeah. So this one really kind of stings though. That I get why Henry doesn't want to come back because they never really knew how to treat Superman. But it sucks that we didn't get like he was a good Superman. They just didn't give him anything good to work with. Like,
agreed.
It bugs me to no end that Zack Snyder, the way Zack Snyder killed his dad in Man of Steel. It's like, you idiot! You don't get why his father died of a heart attack. You fucking moron! That's part of his whole thing. Can't save everyone, and you made it so stupid that he couldn't risk going out in front of people and to get him in a hurricane. Like, you could easily save him and not have lost his dad. And that's why a heart attack is the reason why he dies, and he realizes he can't save everyone. Like, oh no, I can't fly towards this tornado in less than a second. Like, he's as fast as he's not like, sure, it's canon, he's as fast as the Flash, if not a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have done that in a second? Come on.
Yeah, blow it out your butt.
Stupid Zack Snyder. I also saw something that, this kind of bugged me too, is people who are talking
about, really grinds my gears.
Oh, grinds my gears. People were talking about Batgirl being canceled because it was woke.
Yeah.
First of all, no one really knows what the movie was about. And if you're just going based off because Leslie Grace was cast, and you don't know who she is, okay, well, there's a lot of people who have seen her in The Heights. Was that the musical she was in? Or apparently she was very good. It's a very good movie. If you're into musicals.
Yes.
But it, like, I don't know, just to like assume that's why the movie was bad before even seeing it. Just, I don't know. I saw one YouTuber put that in there, like, this is the reason why it's canceled. And I was actually surprised that most of his followers like, you're an idiot.
That is surprising.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's usually not the case. And they were standing up for Leslie Grace just being, a talented person in whatever she does. And people, like, I was super stoked to see Brendan Fraser come back. Like, why shouldn't he be in more things?
I thought it would be good.
And no one's seen barely anyone's seen the movie that could talk about what it was actually like. So how are we just gonna, because the girl was Latin instead of pure white, like, oh, now it's woke. I don't know. This term has lost all meaning, because everything, like, when you use it too many times, it's like, I don't even know what that means anymore.
Yes. Yeah, I just I don't know if I can see the script being super strong. I feel like it's getting to the point where at least for DC and the stuff that they have right now, what they have in the works, what they have, whatever. If it's basically not like a sure thing, I feel like they're just cutting it. And for some weird reason, they have a bunch of like sure bets with the current properties they haven't canceled.
I feel like the Flash is not a sure bet. Like,
I wouldn't say.
I'm so surprised they actually haven't killed it yet.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, well, it's gonna make waves, right? Like I almost feel like they did Batgirl just to see what would happen if they did the Flash, and now they're kind of seeing like this crazy, like, I don't know. It's
Well,
gonna be
this kind of made it even worse because people are like, "Wait, you killed Batgirl, but you didn't kill Flash," and yet Ezra Miller is a grooming pedophile who is a psychopath who's breaking into houses and is actually a criminal. Like
definitely a crazy psychopath
he
for
has
sure.
multiple restraining orders against him. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah,
I get that it cost like $300 million to make that movie, but sometimes
so much money.
Sometimes doing the right thing costs money. Like, and you're gonna make it back tenfold later because you did the right thing.
Yeah, imagine, right?
I don't know if they really, and they haven't really announced. It's so weird to me that they announced we're gonna cancel Batgirl, we're gonna do a Marvel style 10-year build, and not announce any properties or anything that, like, you announced that you announced that you're announcing a plan eventually. Like, don't come to me with half a thing.
Yeah.
Half a thing is you canceled these things and we're gonna do something else later, but we don't know what. Well, why not just wait until, like, you can't come up with this thing in a month? Like, Batgirl wasn't supposed to come out until next year anyways, so
why not just retool and whatever? But they jumped ship, right?
Wait,
like they wait. They I feel like they pulled an early Disney James Gunn situation with Batgirl. And it wasn't obviously over, 10-year-old very. Let me again remind everyone. Okay, I have, this one is now set in sand. Many people came forward in support of this man, saying that, nothing ever obviously came of the jokes that he made.
Yeah.
But he did make very, very close pedophile jokes on Twitter, and they were not in good taste. They were awful.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that when Disney fired him, they jumped the gun. No pun intended. And I mean, that's it. They did it. They didn't handle it properly. I feel like James Gunn handled it pretty properly, which he took the time, and then he came and said, "Yeah, listen, this is an awful taste." And I was trying to be funny at the time, and it wasn't. And a lot of other people were making the same jokes, and I, obviously jumped ship, and I shouldn't have. And I've learned my lesson since then, et cetera, et cetera. And I think he's made good on that whole situation. And I think he handled it like probably the best way that he could, where Disney did not. Oh, look at that. Nice. Just a cat right there. It's good. Done? Okay. Anyway, just a cat. Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? So I feel like DC weird position where they're going to be, jumping the gun and firing off, all cylinders. This guy is obviously drunk on power. I've said it before. We're going to see some good choices, but I think we're going to see some bad decisions too. Really? Going to keep it going, eh? Okay. So yeah.
So I guess this is one of the big differences between James Gunn and like what Joss Whedon did. Is James Gunn fully accepted responsibility.
Yeah, much different.
Explained that he's not that same person anymore, and then he grew and changed and understood what he did wrong. And I kind of feel like Marvel was always going to bring him back anyways. They just felt like they needed to do it at the time. And then they're like, you know what? We can push Guardians back a year and it's going to calm down after that. And he'll do another project, then he'll be fine. We'll bring him back. But like, if Joss Whedon had done the, I fully take responsibility, I've grown as a person, blah, 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 that doesn't happen on my sets anymore. Except it happened like a year before that
of
on
course,
the set of Justice League.
Yeah.
So, like, people can change and they can become better people. I'm not saying everyone deserves a second chance,
Agreed.
Some things like what Ezra Miller did you don't get a second chance for.
Correct. And I would say Joss Whedon, he can fuck off too.
He
Doesn't get a second chance. Fuck that guy.
Either.
Hey,
but
fuck
James,
that guy.
But like, I mean, in all things, context matters for your second chance.
Sure.
But also, it's also the thing about movies and music and art is it's hard. You sometimes want to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
And you want to enjoy their art, but it's hard to because of the garbage human being they are. But then you have to think like, okay, this garbage human being made this art that I liked. Well, how much of his garbage, his or her personality went into making this thing that I love?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a personal choice for everyone. Like, can you separate that or can you not? And if you can't, then that's fine. Like it's your own decision to turn it off or never watch it. And this is what's weird to me about what Marvel's doing with their secondary and third tier characters of color or identity politics. Like for 60 years comic book artists have put their identity or their politics or what they see is going around them at the time of the time they create their comics or their characters. And yet people get upset that Marvel's like making a property for a character. Like Black Panther was created during the civil rights movement, and
right.
Some people are like, oh, they're only making Black Panther to pander to black people because of Black Lives Matter at the time, and police violence was always a problem, but it became to the forefront because of George Floyd or any number of pick your
every state, throw a dart at the map.
So the problem shouldn't be, well, Marvel's making a Black Panther movie to bring this political or social problem to the forefront and pander these people. It's like, no, we're 60 years on and this is still something that's going on. Like, this is necessary to put in front of people again. And like same with like characters who aren't necessarily hugely popular. Like I had someone I know complain that they're making an Echo TV series,
right,
when they should be making any number of other shows with Marvel characters. And I'm like, well, why? Like, what's your criteria for Marvel not creating a show but not pandering to a certain demographic? Like like he complained about Shang-Chi. Well, 2/3 of the population is in Asia, of this planet. Like, that's not, they're pandering to a couple billion people. Like, we're the minority of like the color on this planet. How are they not pandering to us every time they make a Thor movie? Like, I don't get the criteria of like, well, if it's popular to white people, it's not pandering, but if it's popular, they're making it so that those people of color can see their superheroes they identify with. It's pandering to them, but not to us when they do it with characters that we love. I don't and that goes into the Batgirl thing too. Like, I don't get
right. It. So, I mean, I want to say just really quickly, I mean, it doesn't address all of that, but it is something I do fully believe that no matter what we say or what literally anyone says, the simple fact is that no matter what the art is coming from these companies, and I'm talking about these large companies, Disney, Marvel, even though they're the same.
Yeah.
They have basically two main goals. The first main goal is to make money. And the second is to essentially not piss off 75% of their audience base.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've done a fairly good job of doing both of those. That's clearly evident considering how many dollars and how much TV has generated whatever amount of revenue for these streaming services. I feel like with especially Black Panther, the timing of just how much racial injustice came up to the forefront in such a quick period of time was like a shocker to a lot of people. And I think that when Black Panther came out, a lot of fucking ding dongs, whitey ding dongs, said that obviously they're catering to, either I'm getting my time frames mixed up because I'm trying to remember when Black Panther came out versus Black Lives Matter, and I believe that Black Panther came out before that, right? No,
2018.
Yeah, so it would have been before.
Yeah, 2018.
2018. So it would have been before because Black Lives Matter was 2020, right?
Oh, it was
or
that.
Was it
Black Lives Matter started in 2013.
Sorry, when George Floyd and everything exploded was that would have been 2019.
That was 2020. But pick
2020. Sorry,
I
apologize. Yeah, of course. So I think that they definitely didn't pander. I think that it was just literally the timing. It was it could have been a slight pander, but it was more the timing was, I wouldn't say perfect, but needed for those properties and whatever. And let's not forget, they tested the waters big time after Iron Man came out, right? Like they did Iron Man, they did Thor, they did whatever. In the terms of Captain America, in the terms of superheroes. And once they were deemed that they were popular enough, obviously they started to delve into like more, diversity. Like obviously we didn't get a Black Widow film until now, right? Like even though it's COVID, like it's been so long. Yes, like we didn't get one until now. It's just certain things that I don't think they did pander, but obviously in a business sense, obviously they did. Like they had to have a tiny bit. But do I think that it was enough to sway choices and decisions with certain like properties? I don't think so.
I don't doubt that those companies enjoy making money by putting those properties out and thinking like, oh, we're doing a good thing. Like I'm sure there's two versions of like, hey, we're being more diverse in our content, and that's great. And the other thing is, oh, being more diverse means more money. That's whether it's the shoe before the cart before the horse, on which they have for whichever property, like, oh, we should make this because we're more diverse, or we should make this because we'll make more money because we're diverse. Whether I guess I just don't really care what their motivation is for doing it. Like as long as it's good and it's entertaining and the people they've made it for enjoy it, like what the fuck do I care?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to watch it. Like Miss Marvel, it wasn't made for me. I don't have to watch it. It was thoroughly entertaining.
It was very entertaining, and I did enjoy it actually. Like now that I've had a little bit of time to process it, and like I did watch all the episodes pretty clearly. You know what I mean? Like I didn't write an essay while I had it on in the background or whatever. You know what I mean? Like for situations that I have to talk about, certain items, I tend to sit down and either watch it or talk hilarious, gab about it when I haven't watched it. But if I'm going to say something is, good, then I'm going to watch it and say so. So I haven't watched Prey yet, obviously, but I've heard it's very good. So, I got to get on the train and hopefully I enjoy it as well. Is that going to influence think? Hopefully not. So, the fact that you literally said that they used more practical effects versus CGI is like it's tickling my taint. You know what I mean?
It seemed to me that it was more practical than.
And that would make sense because, they made it on like you said, the budget that they had. And I would have assumed that they reserved a lot of the effects for the Predators. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The CGI. Well, let me say this: the CGI that was in Prey was very noticeable compared to the things that I didn't think were CGI. So that's how I thought there might be more practical effects because I couldn't.
Okay.
It was easier to differentiate between CGI and non-CGI with Prey. Yeah. So I guess they're the people that like we have with the Echo thing of the Echo TV series being made over a number of other properties, like the person's argument was it's okay to make Daredevil about a disabled person because that's a popular character and it's not pandering apparently to disabled people because the character's popular. And I'm trying to understand his view of like, so your criteria is if the character is a person of color or disabled or abled in some way, that it's okay to make content about them on Disney Plus or put them in a movie if the character's popular. But if the character's not popular, then it's pandering. But then how many other comic book companies are getting new things like getting optioned or signed from their new comics that are within the last 20 years? I haven't seen anyone complain about. Well, people were complaining about Sandman.
Yeah.
And then now everyone's like, oh man, this show's amazing.
Yeah, because they finished it.
Now they actually see what's on screen and what Neil Gaiman did.
Yeah.
And what Netflix did. So, but I'd like, how popular does a character have to be before it's okay to make that without pandering to 2/3 of the population of the planet? Like,
right.
Umbrella Academy, that's not a Marvel or DC property, but it has, people of color in it. It has a trans person in it, and was that okay to make because it's an indie comic? So indie comics are fine to make is if it has not popular characters who are diverse. Like, I don't know. I don't get the checklist of like, okay, this and this is okay, but this isn't, and then this is pandering, but this is not. Like, so we get to see a show with a person who is deaf that's a woman, and a person of color. Why is that so much different than, like, why is that wrong? But a white guy who's deaf or who's blind is okay, but deaf, no, they're not popular enough. That's pandering to deaf people. Are you fucking serious? It's pandering to deaf people.
For what it's worth, I'm going to break up this slight attack on the right whiteys, and I was just going to mention that I gained a subscriber on Bing Bong.
Sweet.
Thank you look at that
subscription.
Yes, thank you.
Just as we're about to wrap up, because I can bitch about this all night.
I mean, we could if you wanted to. We're live, baby. Whatever.
No.
Whatever flies.
So I forgot to do the ad at the beginning, so I'll just do it now as we're ending. Yousellcomics is a place where you can buy comics, you can sell comics. We do $5.99 a month for bin pricing and $15.99 a month for auctions. You can run as many auctions or list as many items as you want, and it's the same fee every month. There's no commission. We have recently added some features like year and volume now to your listings, so you can have a better search or a better description. The app is still in development and will probably be in development for a while longer.
Yes.
The screens look good, but there's some coding stuff to work out before I move to the next step.
We're getting there.
I said to the beginning of this, I'm like, I hope by the end of October, and now I'm like, I hope by the end of November. which
Yeah,
is always
and
the
then-
case with technology and websites and whatever.
of
So,
course.
what else are we doing next? Oh, we are changing the way the new arrivals page works, so it'll be limited to the last 30 days of items instead of
Okay.
like on and on. There is yes. So we're also changing the way subscriptions work in the back end. So we will be able to start our affiliate program finally.
Nice.
I'm hoping to get that off the ground by the end of August, mid-September. I can hope to give out affiliate links so everyone can spread the word and make a little money themselves on spreading the word.
Ooh, tester.
Yeah. So things are going the website. So, there's one thing I won't talk about yet, but maybe I'll talk about it to get other people's opinions. And I'm really kind of against it, but I also understand the reason for it. But we'll talk about that another day. So go to Yousellcomics.com. There's some cool books actually this week. There was I've never heard of this film because I was sheltered in the 90s. But have you ever heard of a cult movie from the 90s called Even Hitler Had a Girlfriend?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
Oh, you have? So
Yeah,
I
I've
guess
never
they
watched
made
it,
a comic book, an adaptation of it, and
Oh
someone
my
posted
God.
that to the site this week. So I put that in the newsletter.
Amazing.
As one of the keys of the week for sale. I had to look it up just to be like, is this a Nazi thing?
Yeah.
Or is it another thing? And it's another thing. So I'm like, you know what? It's weird enough. I'll just put it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's in there. That got posted this week. Also, an awesome Moon Knight variant from John Tyler Christopher.
Ooh.
He always does the negative space variants.
Right.
So that's up there for $79. And Nottingham #1 variant from San Diego Comic-Con, which was really nice too. Yeah, so that's for sale as well. So if you're interested in buying and or selling, check out Yousellcomics.com. So we're here once a week, most of the time.
Most.
Yeah. If you like us, thanks for subscribing. If you don't, give us a thumbs down, I guess. Fine. Yeah.
We really don't care. It's okay.
And if you have any comments, let us know.
Please.
Okay. This has been Matt and Josh from Yousellcomics, and thanks for watching. Later.